Shalom, 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 shalom. First off, giving all honor and praises to the Most High and to His Son Yahushua. With a battle axes of the Most High coming to you with another Sabbath class. Shalom to brothers and sisters that are watching online. Shalom to brothers and sisters in class. The name of today's class is Increasing in Order, Foundation and Zeal after the Passover. Increasing in order, foundation, and zeal after the Passover. Because we know, the Passover is over, brothers and sisters, Israel. So now what? Do we just go back, or do we continue in that same fire that brothers and sisters were showing on their dance floor? Do we continue in that same zeal that brothers and sisters was baking that unleavened bread with, or that how they was preparing the meals for the Most High God's Passover? We want to make sure that we stay on fire in this truth. We stay with zeal, we stay in order, and we stay on a good foundation. Because even with us talking to the brothers and sisters, Israel love to have a good time, love to party. You see the building was full top to bottom. But then when it comes to God's 7-day Sabbath, you don't see that same energy. You don't see that same type of spirit, man. That's why it's pivotal that brothers and sisters come into this truth on a good foundation and not a party down foundation. Because that's what it does when brothers and sisters just see and want to come have a party. Guess what? That's the spirit that they take on, man. Christ even kind of touched on this a little bit. Let's start here. Just the spirit, man. Let's go to the book of John, chapter 6, verse 26. Because Israel, we know Israel, man, we can have a great time. Israel can party hard, but can we serve the Most High God hard? Can we take good notes hard? Can we understand the scriptures that are being brought out hard, or in that same type of a spirit? John chapter 6, let me get there out. In verse 26. What brother know what account this is going into? What account is this going into? Do any brother know? Y'all want to make sure that y'all put those footnotes right there. So when y'all flip into your scriptures, you know what you got, Soldier Hood. In the specific, it goes into that. But what instance is happening here? What's going on? It's going into the breads and the loaves. Huh? You get there, read this out. The book of St. John, chapter 6, verse 26. Yahushua answered them and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, ye seek me, not because ye saw the miracles, but because ye did eat of the loaves and were filled. Read that again now. St. John, chapter 6, verse 26. Yahushua answered them and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, ye seek me, not because you see the miracle. So brothers and sisters, they didn't seek, or they didn't come because guess what? They wanted to actually worship the Passover or in the spirit of the Most High. They came because guess what? It was a party. And this is the same instance. Like we always say, we want to make sure that guess what? We apply these things in real time and understand that these scriptures are talking about us in different instances. It's the same relatable thing. Read on, huh? Ye seek me, not because ye saw the miracles, but because ye did eat of the loaves and were filled. So people want to come to eat up the food and have a good time, not truly understanding what the Most High God is teaching. Understanding that guess what? The real miracles is him breaking down and giving an understanding of the scriptures, man. That's the true miracles right there. That is the true party, because guess what? We know ain't no party like an Israelite party, man. But guess what? Our first and foremost is to be what? Set on a good foundation with the understanding of the scriptures. First and foremost. So then you can better understand why we are celebrating these things. That's the spirit that brothers have to be in. That's the spirit that sisters have to be in. Doing the work of the Most High God first. Like we say, we work hard, but guess what? We're going to play harder. We're going to celebrate in the name of the Most High. Like I say, dance like David, man. We're going to do those things, man. But first, you got to understand, you got to come and get built up on this truth first, man. First and foremost, let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 13. Like I said, the name of today's class is Increasing in Order, Foundation, Zeal after the Passover. Because even like the captain was saying, we assess these things after the Passover, seeing what things we can and cannot improve on. So Battle Axes brothers and sisters did a fairly great job. Even like what Captain Yaru was saying, you have some bumps every now and then, but it was a fairly great Passover, brothers and sisters in the spirit. It truly was, man. You know, not too many incidences, nothing that's too hard to not be corrected. You know, so all praise, like Captain Yaru said, let's give brothers and sisters, let's get a Most High God another hand of applause. Man. Like we say, we want to constantly increase and increase to guess what? The next 7-day Sabbath, to the next new moon, to guess what? The Day of Atonement. We want to see that same joy for when your behinds got to fast. We want to see that same joy. Or for the tabernacles. No, we turn up on the tabernacles. Let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 13. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 14, verse 13. Because we want to continue in the same order. As a matter of fact, we want to take it and, hey, multiply that thing 10 folds, man. Read this out. 2nd Ezra, chapter 14, verse 13. Now, therefore, set thine house in order, and reprove thy people. So he's saying, now, therefore, set thine house. Your house is going into what? Your spirit, your body. You want to constantly set these things in order even after the Passover. Brothers in order with their wives, guess what? Continue and be more on fire after the Passover. Sisters in order with their husband, guess what? Take that to another level. Children that was in order, guess what? Take it to another level. Brothers and sisters, we want to take it to another level because I know y'all see the things that are happening. Most High God is stirring up war spirits in the earth, man, for our sakes. He's bringing terrible weather. I know even my wife was saying there was in Mansfield, like a slight, man, say, Most High God is no joke out here, man. We seeing what's going on with what? With all these protests on these campuses. Hey, I thought it was free speech out here. Hey, the Most High God is showing you that, guess what? They have deceit and they have guile within their hearts, man. And he's turning these spirits up. So if he's turning these spirits up on the outside, guess what? Surely he'll be turning them up on the inside as well, brothers and sisters. Those are trials and tribulations that we have to fight to overcome, man. Don't let these spirits of the world, guess what, jump on you and guess what, cause you to, guess what, to get weary or to faint in this truth. That's not what the Most High God called us in this truth for, man. And you don't want to waste that calling to, guess what, eventually get pulled out of the truth. Read that again from the top. 2nd Ezra, chapter 14, verse 13. Now, therefore, set thine house in order and reprove thy people. So guess what? We see that reproof is what? Correction. Brothers and sisters have to understand that correction must come. Don't feel no type of way when correction comes because guess what? That's what the Bible is all about. That's what it's all about, man. Brothers and sisters building. Now, like we say, we want brothers to take it even more. Even like I know Captain Jerubbaal and the captain was talking about in Camp 101. Trying to get brothers in their spirit to where you don't have to listen to or have to be told by the captains and officers on things that need to be done in this work. We want brothers and sisters to, guess what? Know what their job is, know what needs to be done, and guess what? Do that thing to the fullest, man. Take the initiative when it comes to this truth, man. Go ahead, Al.
And like I was saying, man, as long as some of us brothers and sisters have been in here, I mean, who had to tell somebody that, hey, the bathroom needs tissue? I mean, who had to tell somebody that, I mean, the floors is dirty, we need to mop? After so long, it's like a father or mother trying to teach a child. They show them over and over and over again, hey, you expected to do it. So, I mean, how many times, that's how the Lord do with us. He show us over and over and over again, So after so long of showing us, hey, now it's time to get ourselves in order to do it, right? That's what setting your house in order is about. That means checking your spirit. When I see something is wrong, it's time to check my spirit to get myself back in order because the order is already set, right? And this is what brothers and sisters sometimes we get in the truth, but we struggle with. We don't struggle with the party, we struggle with getting things in order. Man. And this is why this class got this so pivotal. Man. Go ahead.
Read on, Rob. Now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people, correct the people. Read on. Comfort such of them as be in trouble. That's why brothers and sisters must be in the spirit, because we have to comfort brothers and sisters that are what? That are weak in the spirit. Sisters have to comfort sisters. Brothers have to comfort brothers. We have to comfort each other, man. Read on up. And now renounce corruption. And we have to renounce corruption. We have to renounce sin and evildoers. Read on. Let go from the mortal thought. Read that away. Read that again. Let go from the mortal thought. Let go from the mortal thoughts, because a lot of times we let the cares of the world do what? Weigh us down, brothers and sisters. And Satan plays on those things and know how to manipulate a brother's or sister's mind to stop them from doing the work by playing on your thoughts, by playing on what sisters' emotions, to guess what? To cause them to stop doing the work of the Lord, to stop growing in the truth, to stop being on a good foundation, to stop having zeal for the Lord. Read on. Come. Cast away the burdens of man. Cast away the burdens of man. We know what those burdens are. Your job, family, friends, spirits. Read on up. Put off now the weak nature. We have to put off that weak nature, brothers and sisters, man. We have to put that weak nature off. Brothers and sisters, know what you deal with. Whether it's being in order with your husband, whether it's not reading enough, whether it's not studying enough, whether it's not fasting enough, whether it's for the children not listening enough. Brothers and sisters, know what we deal with on a micro and minute level. Read on up. Come. Verse 15. It set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee. Because guess what? We got to get those thoughts to the Most High. By going through the scriptures, we understand that we're going to go through what? Trials and tribulations, but it's as a purifier to do what? To refine us and strengthen us. If you don't go through something, how do you know how to deal with something? Read on. And hasting to flee from these times. And haste to flee from these times. These times that it's talking about is now, brothers and sisters, man. As we see war being ratcheted up more and more and more. Sooner or later, it's going to come to the coast of America, brothers and sisters. And if we're not built up on a good foundation, guess what? These things can take you away. This can be a part of the burdens of brothers and sisters' minds. Read on. Verse 16. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. And the Most High God, through the prophet Ezra, is giving us a hint that guess what? We still got to catch a lot of more hell. We catching hell right now, brothers and sisters, but guess what? We're going to catch a lot more hell. So we must be prepared for these things. Let's go to Psalms chapter 119, verse 133. Psalm 119, verse 133. Salakia. Like I said, we're going too fast, brothers and sisters. Raise your hands. We'll slow it down. You get to read this out. The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 133. Order my steps in thy word. Read that again. Order my steps in thy word, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me. And that's first and foremost. Brothers and sisters, if you want order, your order has to be ordered through the word. When particular situations come up, let's say a lust spirit, brothers and sisters know that guess what? It's certain precepts, it's certain verses that you have to have in your mind. Let me give a prime example. You got a precept on lust. Soldier Donovan, what precept could you go to about lust? Paraphrasing. That's a precept. You know, we want one with lust up in that thing. What brother can give me a precept with lust in there real quick? Let's get there right quick. So this is what ordering your steps in the word is all about. Sisters know she have a particular issue with her mouth. Guess what? Sisters should be, guess what? Thinking about precepts. Thinking about Bible verses that she can apply to, guess what? Stay in order with her husband. Or just stay in order, period. Read that out. The book of James, chapter 1, verse 14. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust.
Start at verse 13.
So like James chapter 1, verse 13. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. So when you're tempted, you can't blame the Lord for that, man. Read on out. For God cannot be tempted with evil. Read on. Neither tempted he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust. Every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust. Meaning when that particular spirit is presented to you and then you what? Act upon it. The Lord didn't do that. Your ass did that. That's why we always tell brothers and sisters when suspension comes down, when correction comes down, why are you mad at the leaders? Why are you mad at the captains? We didn't do that. We didn't cause you to be out of order. We didn't cause you to, guess what, go out into that particular sin. All our job is to bring out what you did and to bring out the correction. Read on up. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away after his own lust. And enticed. And enticed. That lust looks so good. That particular sin that you're dealing in looks so good. Read on. Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin. Then once you act upon it, that thing brings upon sin. Now you're behind feeling all bad. But you have to have a strong enough spirit to do what, brothers and sisters? Catch yourself in real time. And that's what the Most High God is constantly doing for us as a nation of people. He's going to put particular spirits that you deal with to see if you're going to pass the test according to his will, not according to your own will.
And I'm glad Captain Benaniyah keeps saying it. And I'm talking about, man, that shit just home in your spirit. Catching it in real time is a real deal, man.
That's right.
Because you got to think, we in the world of sin. Everything around us is sin, right? Guess what? All the sisters, they got the tightest clothes on that you can wear. They show everything that you can possibly see to the point they really don't wear no clothes. All the men wear the tightest clothes. You can see all the prints and curves he got too, right? And guess what? The LGBTQ, all of them got the same. Guess what? They get a chance to see stuff too. Because guess what these Negroes do? They sag their pants, show their ass, and guess what? It's not for the real men to look at it. Who you think gonna look at it? They the one that look at it. They like, dang, he out there, right? So guess what? And a lot of them men today, guess what? Women, you have to be careful because a lot of them they will draw your man in too. Because when lust get on to you, it ain't got to go towards, it ain't got to come this way. Lust can do a whole different direction, right? Because just like in Genesis chapter 4, what did it tell you? Satan would have dominion on you if you don't do well. Meaning if you're not keeping the commandments. So you don't know which way it'll turn you, right? So brothers and sisters better keep that in focus in your mind, right? Go ahead.
You finish that out? Read on. Come. Verse 15. Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin. Then when you act upon this sin, it brings forth death. Read on. And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. So that's your payment for dealing in that particular sin or not overcoming that particular lust. This is one that I go to. Go to the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse what, Ox? See if Ox. Remember, rebuke that distraction spirit. Rebuke that thing, man, because I'm going to tell you, we'll touch on that too. That's another spirit that can cause brothers and sisters to go off. You're distracted with the cares of the world and not focusing on the Most High. What brother got the precept? What you got, Judah? Give me verse. Yeah, I think you're right. Thanks, officer. Yeah, right. You're in the spirit, Doc. Thanks, Doc. Y'all have to forgive me, man. And these scriptures over here, man, look so old. My numbers is fading away. Read this right quick, Doc. The book of James, chapter 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 22. Like the book of the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 22. You know, we always would say, man, what kind of book he got, man? Read that off. Flee also youthful lust. We have to flee youthful lust, meaning what? Not being able to check your spirit. These are things that we did in the world. That's what it's going into, youthful lust, things you did in your youth. Like we say, hey, when you come into this truth, you're growing into what? To be a man. Not little boys. You don't make little boy decisions anymore. You don't make little girls decisions anymore. Read on up. Flee also youthful lust, but follow righteousness, faith, charity, peace with them that call on the Lord out of a pure heart. What is righteousness, brothers?
Deuteronomy 6:25.
Deuteronomy 6:25. Twins saying it as twins, man. Read on. Come, charity. Also like your faith, charity, peace with them that call on the Lord out of a pure heart. And that's the point, man. You want to be doing these things out of a pure heart. A lot of times, brothers and sisters, we know, especially children, they just doing it because guess what? Mom and daddy making it. Well, yeah, you're damn right. But eventually, hey, that rubber gonna miss the road to where, or you gonna continue in this thing when you get old enough. That rubber is gonna meet the road real quick. Real quick, man. Let's go back to Psalms 119 and verse 133. You have some up? Bring it up.
Go to 1 John chapter 2, verse 16.
Let's go to 1 John 2 and 16. One last precept. And like I said, you know, those youthful lusts, man, those are things that we were doing back in our hate time that we really didn't understand that what we were doing was wrong. Man. Right? We cared for the world at that time. Now it ought to be on you instead of like I said, you come into class because mom and daddy make me, or because my husband made me. You should come to class because now you want to get the word of God, just like make it to the kingdom, just like this person wants to. 1 John 2 and 16.
Book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 16. For all that is in the world, read the lust of the flesh. So what? The lust of the flesh. So that fleshly, that is lust, man. There is lust in that flesh, man. There is evil in that flesh, man. There is sin in that flesh, right? The lust of the flesh. Read the lust of the eye. The what? The lust of the eye. And this is the main point of lust, man. Because when you see it, that's when it becomes lust, right? Like I said, you got women out here half naked all day, man. It's up for you to try to what in real time say, look, man, now I gotta make a covenant with my eyes like Job, right? Vice versa with the women, right? Like you said, man, we gotta start making these covenants with our eyes and try to catch this thing in real time. Read on. And the pride of life. So all this thing going into lust, the lust of the flesh, the eyes, and the pride of life, man. Right? Because that's where we get it from. We get it from the pride of the life that we were in, man, right? That old man and that old woman. Read. It's not of the Father. It's what? It's not of the Father. Going into that old man that lust is not of the Father. Read. But it's of the world. But it's of the world. That's why 1 John 2:15 said, love not the world. Right? These are the things that are in the world. The world cares for the Cardi B's and the sexy rings. We got to come out and care for what? The Sister Deborahs and the Abrahams and the Isaacs and the Jacobs, right? That's just another lust precept though. Go back.
I want to deal with the part. Matter of fact, go to Sirach chapter 27 right quick, verse 30. Get straight to it. Right? I want to deal with the part when, like I is touching on with lust, because all of these things right here, even when you're dealing with spirits, it comes with like we always ask for the blessing from the Lord, but when you dealing in, like you say, those like lust spirits and different kind of spirits, it's a side to that too that comes with that too. So we pray for blessings to come, and we want to receive the blessings. But if you step onto the other side, it's some stuff that's gonna happen to you on the other side too, right? For not choosing it. Sirach chapter 27, verse 30, right quick.
Gotcha. The book of Sirach, chapter 27, verse 30. Read malice and wrath.
So it says malice and wrath. Think about these two things, man. It said malice and wrath, read.
Even these are abominations.
All those things to the Lord is an abomination, right? But read.
And the simple man shall have them both.
And the simple man is gonna be in, that's what's gonna be inside a simple man. That's what lust brings too. When lust brings on sin, guess what? Guess what else comes in? Malice and wrath. Malice and wrath comes about, right? And these are the things that, guess what? Say for instance, you might be lusting right here. Now all of a sudden, sister done pissed you off. Now you going in on sis. No, let's get to the root of the problem. The root of the problem was your lust back there. Your root of the problem wasn't sis, it was you, right? So that's why I was like I'm saying, when we dealing with something in real time, right? Get to the root of the problem. Everybody like to, I stomp my feet on the wall. I come around and cuss brother out because he did something. No, fix the problem. Stop going to everybody else. We need to fix the problem at hand, man. And this is how we need to start getting back to the root of things so we can get things back squared away, right? Go ahead, huh?
Let's go back to Psalms 119 and verse 133. Let's read it out.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 133. Order my steps in thy words, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me.
Hey, for your steps to be ordered in the word, you can't have sin in you. If you do, you have to constantly be what? Forced to repent, and guess what? Fight to keep the kingdom. We understand that brothers and sisters do fall, but do you stay down? No. Christians make the mistake of thinking that they can't keep God's laws. That's a truly big mistake, man, and they lack the understanding on those things. No, most like God said, yes, you're going to fall. King David failed. Guess what? Hezekiah failed. But overall, they had a good report of what? Of being righteous men. And guess what? They repented. And guess what? Sought the Lord 10 times more. Yes, that's what I said, Danny. I know brothers and sisters, especially sisters. Let's go to the book of Isaiah 33 and 6. I got my back. Seek the Lord 10 times more. You know, this is one of the first precepts I learned when coming into the truth, man. This thing still stick with me to this day, man. Get there, read that out. Yeah, Isaiah 33 and verse 6.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 33, verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of the time, of thy time.
So the only way to be stable and on a good foundation is for you to have wisdom and knowledge. Brother Renoir, what is wisdom according to the Bible? What is wisdom? So what is knowledge? Yeah, exactly. Brother Bilal, what is wisdom according to the Bible? Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5 through 6. Wisdom is what? The keeping of the laws. So what is knowledge, Brother Renoir? No, the precept. Knowledge is Malachi 2 and 7. Both of those things point back to what? To the law. Brothers got to be ready. Y'all know we going to, be on brothers' butts about them precepts, man. Sisters too. I'm just warning y'all. Read that again,
Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time.
That's how you stay on a good foundation. That's how you stay motivated in this truth, by seeking wisdom and knowledge, by keeping the commandments. I don't understand how Christians don't see that. Throughout Genesis to Revelation, that's all the Most High God is talking about. Keeping his commandments and the penalties that you receive for breaking his commandments. The Bible is just that simple. To the Israelites. That's it. Close the book. From front to back, man, it's that simple. Read on up.
In strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure.
And strength of salvation. So when you apply those things, that's how you get salvation, brothers and sisters. Saying the same thing. The Most High God is just masterful in his words, using different words to convey the same message over and over and over again. It says the fear of the Lord is his treasure. That's a treasure to the Most High God for brothers and sisters to fear him, man. He puts that in his treasure box. A lot of brothers and sisters think the Most High God got gold, silver, diamonds. No, he has your fear in his treasure box, man. That's what his treasure is. Go ahead, Doc.
Let's get that precept. What Christ was. That's the same thing Christ is talking about, man. Let's get that in Matthew chapter 6, verse 19, man. This is what Christ is talking about, man. This is how we lay up treasures for the kingdom of heaven, man. Right? When we get there, I'll just read.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 6, verse 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt,
Right, read.
and where thieves break through and steal.
Read on up.
But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven.
How do you lay up treasures in heaven? He just read it in Isaiah chapter 33.
Which was what, twin? How you lay up treasures?
Man, look.
I went blank. I went blank.
Went blank. What you got, Hosea? The fear.
Oh, praise God.
This is how you lay treasures up, man. It's giving us clues. As we got you next time. Right? Read.
But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt.
Because guess what? Nobody can steer the fear of the Lord from you. Nobody should be able to steal the fear of the Lord from you. Who can steal the fear? Who can steal that? You can steal everything else. You can't steal my fear to how I fear the Lord. Right? Read.
Where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal.
Verse 21 to point.
For your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
Right? So if where your fear of the Lord be, that's where your heart will be also. Right? So if your fear, you ain't got that much fear of the Lord, guess what? Your heart gonna be right there with that. But if you fear the Lord, like really fear the Lord, guess where your heart gonna be? It's gonna be right there with the Lord. Right? Go ahead.
And now you can see it starts to, I'm telling you, when you understand the scriptures all start to come together perfectly. That's why our people have such a fear of Esau, man, because guess what? They fear is in Sebo. They fear is in Sebo, man. They fear Sebo and not Yahushua and not the Most High Yahweh. They don't fear those things, man, because the fear of the Lord is telling you to keep his commandments. With Sebo, you can do whatever the hell you want to. What type of a God just lets you just do whatever the hell you want to, man? Like, no, if they doing that, guess what? I'm going to go the opposite way, man. Let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 6 and verse 47.
The book of St. Luke, chapter 6, verse 47. Whosoever cometh to me and heareth my saying. You got to read 46. You got to. You got to read 46.
Wait.
Yeah, 6 and 46. The book of St. Luke, chapter 6, verse 46. And why call me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Whosoever cometh to me and heareth my sayings and doeth them, I will show to you whom he is like.
And just like I was touching on Luke 6 and 46. Why call you me Lord, Lord? Because there's a lot of people call on Yahushua name, or call on the Lord, or call on the Lord. But guess what? You ain't wearing no fringes. guess what? You out of order, right? It's a lot of brothers and sisters, guess what, coming in the truth, and they call on, guess what? The only thing they learn, you just got to call on the name. Yeah, you do got to call on the name. But if you ain't doing nothing he say, you can call you. Our children call daddy, mama. Daddy, mama don't want to hear nothing when you don't want to listen, man. Daddy, mama, see that look, get out of my face. Daddy, mama, when you don't want to listen, no, get out of my face. That's why the Lord said, why call you me Lord, Lord? And you don't do nothing I say. Right? Don't call, you call on me for nothing. Because I'm not going to help you, I'm not going to hear you, right? Go ahead,
That too. He touched it.
Keep reading now.
Come. Verse 48. He is like a man which built a house and dig deep and laid the foundation on a rock.
On a what?
On a rock.
He is like a man which built a house and dig deep. That's what brothers and sisters must do in this truth. You have to dig deep with your foundation, man. Because guess what? If you don't have a deep-rooted foundation, anything can pluck you out of here, man. The first correction can get your butt scot out of here, man. Sister, guess what? Put on the long body dress. Them niggas, I'm gone. Well, bye. Bye. Because guess what? We gonna do thus said the Lord. Or brother, hey, read like this, brother. Hey, Captain, he put me to the back because I wasn't reading like, yes, brother. We need that word to come out, man. Shake that thing and guess what? Get to the back and guess what? Speak bold like Christ did, man. Like how he gave us the example to speak, man. Read on, huh? Read that again from the top. Verse 48.
Verse 48 from the top. He is like a man which built a house and dig deep. And laid the foundation on a rock.
On a what?
On a rock.
On a what?
On a rock.
What's the rock? Brothers, raise your hand. Brother Ocean. I'm getting brothers that ain't raising their damn hand. What is that rock, Brother Ocean? Make me come back there. I'll come back there. I don't give a damn. Gloves is off today. Don't make me come back there. What is the rock, Brother Ocean? What's it? What's the rock, Zion? Getting passed around. What's the rock? Well, it's surprised the hell I get. What you got, Brother Ocean? What you got? Brothers had them precepts next to that word, man. Come on, man. The chairs is there, man. You were just talking about that in class, man. Help him out, twin.
No, I don't even want him to say it either.
Brother Ocean, brother trying to give you a chance.
Judah King.
Brother, you Judah King. What you pointing at another brother for? So he Judah King too? Oh, praise God. Oh, write that thing there. Brother, point at this brother. Brother, slide over, Brother Bilal. Brother, your name Judah King too? No, read verse 48 again.
St. Luke chapter 6, verse 48. He is like a man which built a house and dig deep.
And dig deep. That's what this truth is all about. Getting on a good setting, digging deep, man. Read on up.
And laid the foundation on a rock.
On a what?
On a rock.
On a what?
On a rock.
Read on up.
And when the flood arose.
And when the flood arose, meaning trials and tribulations, because guess what? This is what they come as, man. Esau, through his jobs. What you raise here? What you got out? Boy, say, I'm gonna start calling you brothers battle routers, man. I bet you do got it down. Well, give me one that's not 1 Corinthians, 10 and 4. Let's see what he got, man. Let's see if I can redeem himself.
Psalms 40 and 12.
For the rock. Okay. But you know why we like to go? Because it says it plain. Read Psalms 40 and 2.
The book of Psalms, chapter 40, verse 2. He brought me up also out of an horrible pit, out of the miry clay, and set my feet upon a rock.
Read on.
And established my going.
And set my feet upon the rock. So you don't get that answer until you go to what? Plainly in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. So all that time he's reading about that rock, and we understand that that rock is going into Christ in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. So that is another precept, like many other rock precepts in the Old Testament. You know, and that's a cut to you Old Testament Israelites that don't and lack the understanding. Oh, and don't say that. Well, brother, you got to read between the lines. You have to have discernment, man. Let's go back to Luke chapter 6, verse 48.
The book of St. Luke, chapter 6, verse 48. He is like a man which built an house and dig deep, and laid the foundation on a rock. And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently upon that house.
Because guess what? Floods is going to arise even after this Passover, brothers and sisters, man. Guess what? It's going to fill it up. These floods are going to come in, brothers and sisters, man. Meaning what? Different trials and tribulations and spirits that you're going to have to, guess what? Endure to the end, man. To guess what? Constantly fast and pray and get these things up off of you. That's what this truth is all about, man. Seeing how long, or do you have enough spiritual gas in the tank to make it to the end, man? Y'all know, hey, Israelites, black, so-called blacks and Hispanics, man, we can make some gas last, can't we? When we was coming up putting $2 in the tank, even Sister Genesis know about that. When we could put $90 in the tank and let that mug ride all night.
But all night long.
Doing God knows wicked. We ain't gonna get into that though. Look. We'll talk about that. Read on.
Con. And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently upon that house.
So guess what, brothers and sisters will get beat upon spiritually, man. But guess what? If you are dig deep on your foundation, and guess what? Nothing can shake you. Nothing can rock you off of this truth, man. Nothing can, guess what, rattle you. Meaning when correction comes in, guess what? You're not taken by those things. I understand that, guess what? That's something that the captains may see in my spirit that I need to correct. And take it as that. You ain't trying to combat brothers, no matter how soft-spoken you be. You know the brothers and sisters, they speak soft, but inwardly, you know they have an agenda. Captain, that's not my brother. Yes, sister, yes. You speaking softly, but guess what? You're not taking heed to the correction. Read on up.
And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently upon that house, and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock.
For it was founded upon a what?
For it was founded upon a rock.
And that rock is Christ. Meaning what? Nothing can shake you in this truth if your foundation is built upon Christ. That's why brothers in the Old Testament only, that's why, hey, 2 or 3 precepts and they out of this truth, man. We see them be in the truth, then they go from Old Testament Israelite to guess what? Not being established upon Christ, and guess what? A couple of years later, they out the truth because they don't have a good, deep foundation. Sisters as well. That's why as Peter, man, we see this all the time. When you reject Christ and the Most High bug you out, man. All you have to do is go on TikTok. All you have to do is go on Facebook. All you have to do is go on YouTube and see how many videos of brothers and sisters that used to be in the truth. Now that they don't rejected Christ and they bug the hell out, man. That's an example for brothers and sisters to see on what happens when you go against Christ and the Most High, man. Because what you think the Most High God is going to do if you rejected his son? Think about those things, man. Read on up.
Verse 49. But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that is without a foundation.
So if you hear the scriptures and you don't do them, you are a man or a woman that don't have a foundation. And guess what? We know that not having a foundation can get you pulled to and fro out of this truth, man. You'll be in Egyptology. That's going backwards. You'll be back into Christianity. I ain't gonna lie to that thing. We always say that. That thing kind of shake me up. Seeing Brother Jephthah go off like that. That thing is heavy. I mean, a brother that was strong in the scriptures, man. This brother is totally going off. You know, and that I ain't gonna lie, that keeps me aware. Like it wasn't a scoffer that brother could beat down with the scriptures, man. I mean, beating down, man, I'm talking about tons of scoffers, and now the brother don't hardly ever use the scriptures. Saying that Esau is not the hated of the Most High, that now Israel is. It's crazy, man. And that's just something for brother. And there's many accounts of that. That's just a personal account that I know from experience to brothers and sisters that this brother was mighty in the scriptures, that even he is going totally off. Read that again, verse 49.
Come. But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built an house upon the earth.
Built a what?
Built an house upon the earth.
Built a house upon the earth. Read on.
Against which the stream did beat vehemently. And immediately it fell.
And what?
And immediately it fell.
Because when trials and tribulations come to you, you're not able to withstand these things spiritually, man. And these things come in many different forms. You know those forms: sexual desire, money, covetousness, envy. Those are floods that can come in and beat down your house. Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 18, in verse 4. Start up at verse 2. Salakia, brothers and sisters. Love Psalms 18. Psalms chapter 18 is a heavy chapter. Heavy chapter. It's summing up a lot. Summing up Christ and parables. Coming back to destroy these nations, man. Read this out.
The book of Psalms, chapter 18, verse 2. The Lord is my rock.
What Lord is this? Christ. Read on.
And my fortress, and my deliverer, my God.
Because Christ is a God. He is not the Most High God. Trinitarians, we don't understand it, man. Read on out.
My God, my strength, in whom I will trust. My buckler, and the horn of my salvation.
What precept is in the New Testament? The horn of my salvation. All praise, brother, as you're in the spirit. Luke chapter 1, verse 68. The horn of my salvation. The more you read the scriptures, the more you see, like Christ, he's not a lie. He's throughout Genesis to Revelation, man. He is from the beginning of God's creation. Meaning he's the leader of our salvation. Meaning Christ is coming to bring us and us only salvation. Read on out.
I will trust my buckler and the horn of my salvation. And my high tower.
And my high tower. Read on up.
Verse 3. I will call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised.
Read on.
So shall I be saved from mine enemies. The sorrows of death compassed me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid.
And the floods of ungodly men. What ungodly men? Esau. Because they constantly, guess what, combat us with what? Christianity, with different religions, baptism, Baptist, Salakia. Anything you want to be Episcopalian, what the hell is Episcopalian? That's crazy as hell. They combat us with these doctrines constantly to do what? To steer us away from the truth, man. That's these floods that constantly hit brothers and sisters, man. Whether it's at your job, whether it's at you going to the grocery store, whether you just out and about seeing wickedness all in our neighborhoods, at these damn corner stores with Ishmael and guess what? Ham. These floods are constantly compassing us round about. So if you don't have a good foundation, guess what? You will be rocked, man. Your house will be shaken. Your house will be beat upon. Is that it on that? Let's go back to Luke chapter 6 and verse 49.
The book of St. Luke, chapter 6, verse 49. But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built an house upon the earth, against which the stream did beat vehemently, and immediately it fell. And the ruin of that house was great.
Was what?
Was great.
So guess what? The ruin of that house, meaning the fall of that brother or that sister, if you don't have a good foundation, is great. And we seeing some, guess what? Some great men take some great falls, man. Hey, I'm telling brothers and sisters, man, you have to be warned about these things. That's why we always tell brothers and sisters, watch who you watch on YouTube. Not saying that you can't, but you have to have a level of discernment. Because I watch many brothers. A lot of brothers are like, you know, you can't watch everybody, especially without spiritual discernment, man. Because then you become the Capt, why y'all don't do? Hey, we go through the precepts on those things. Then you struggle with those things, and guess what? Be taken away. Hey, you want to stay on a good foundation, man, from the doctrine that you have been taught, man. Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 16 and verse 18. When you get there, read this out.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 16, verse 18.
Break it out.
And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church.
My what?
My church.
Now, what precept am I thinking about? What you got, Brother Ocean? What? Tell me first. What precept do I want? No, tell me first. What word am I looking for to be precepted? He's stuck on that rock, ain't he? All praises though. Stay on that rock, man, which is Christ. What precept am I looking for, brothers? What you got, Brother Bilal?
You're talking about church, right?
That's right. That's damn right.
Acts 7:38.
Let's get there right quick, because Christians think that the church is the multi-ethnic church. Where in the scriptures does it say that, man? The multi-ethnic church. No, the scriptures is plain about who the church is, man.
Yeah.
Read that out.
The book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 38. This is he that was in the church in the wilderness with an angel, which spake to him in the Mount Sinai.
In the what out?
In the Mount Sinai.
This is he who was in the church in the wilderness, showing you that the church is who, brothers and sisters? Israel. That's plain, man. Let's go back. Matthew chapter 16 and verse 18. Read that out.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 16, verse 18. I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it.
Meaning what? If you're built upon Christ, nothing can sway you, not even the gates of hell, not even the gates of death. Read on out.
Verse 19. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven.
Read that again.
And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven.
Showing you that the church has the what? The keys to the kingdom, man. And the church is who? Israel.
Man, I don't know, brothers. Man, that's heavy as the mud, boy. Well, that's heavy, man. Right, just thinking about how brothers and sisters spirit supposed to be, man. We being built up for the Lord to give us the keys to the kingdom of heaven, man. He ain't giving it to no other nation, man. Just thinking about how the Lord gave this whole dominion, like you saying, how Christ gave this to, he said, Peter, I want you basically going, I want you to teach, but I'm gonna give you something, right? And the same thing that I give you, you can give this to your whole nation, man. Right? The keys to the kingdom of heaven. I don't know if brothers and sisters really kind of meditating on that, but brothers and sisters, they need to start thinking on that, man. Imagine, guess what? We literally waiting on the Lord to give us what? The keys to get into our gate, man. Right? That's what we literally, that penny that we waiting on, we literally waiting on that, man. right? And this is what brothers got to stay in the spirit about. Go ahead.
Keep reading, up.
And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven.
Uh-huh.
And whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven.
Uh-huh.
Whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven.
Man, that thing is heavy, man. That's right.
Whatever you reap, whatever you sow, you're going to reap it, man.
Right.
If you go all in for the Most High God right now, he'll go all in for you, man. You go half, partial, you come back and say, well, depart from me, for I never knew you. Just know. Be expecting what you get out of this truth, man.
That's right. You're going to get that same energy, man, that same spirit. Let's go to the book of Isaiah 28, verse 16.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 16. Therefore, thus said the Lord God, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone.
A what?
A stone.
A stone, a rock is going into the same thing. Read on up.
A tried stone.
A tried stone, because the Most High God tried Christ, man, and he was found to be worthy. This is what brothers and sisters must do in this truth after Passover. Because guess what? We're literally letting you know, as soon as you step outside these doors, hell, maybe even in here, you're going to be tested, brothers and sisters, man. That's why it's pivotal that brothers and sisters stay in the spirit, and we know that these things must be. So we can have some type of a peace when we do come in the building. That's why we be on, brothers and sisters, about having your spirit right. Have hospitality. One towards your brother and sister. Got that brother or sister that don't speak. Why in the hell would you come in here and not speak? That makes no damn sense, man. I'm talking about just rude as hell. You have brothers and sisters, I ain't gonna lie, have bad ass mannerisms. Bad mannerisms, man. And that's one of the things that we talked about even at the Passover. You see what brothers and sisters, first in line. Nigga like you ain't 8 years. Nigga hungry as that. Brother, you know you do stay somewhere you can eat before you come to the Passover, right? That's what we tell brothers and sisters. They be hungry as that. Brother, y'all don't eat cereal in the morning? Y'all don't eat fruit? You can't eat cereal. It's okay to have a little snack before you come to Sabbath class. Got to eat. Brother, it's okay. Sisters, it's okay.
Watch this. Go to 1 Corinthians. I'm going to show you something. Go to 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 34. This is what I was touching on, man. Watch this. This said exactly what he just said, man. Watch this. Because brothers and sisters do struggle with that. Like, I'm talking about we supposed to be, man, I'm hungry. I can't wait for I'm hungry. Come on, brothers and sisters. Right? Read that. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 34. Watch this. No, verse 33.
Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 33. Wherefore, my brethren, when ye come together to eat, tarry one for another.
It says tarry. What's tarry mean? Wait one for another, right? Verse 34, the point.
And if any man hunger,
If you hungry, right?
let him eat at home.
No. I know the scripture didn't say that, man. It didn't say that, huh? He said, if any man, if you hungry, what the Lord told you to do?
Let him eat at home.
You got to, hey. So don't come up in here this boy with your stomach touching your back. Okay? Scriptures say what they
Hey,
say.
there ain't no trouble. That's how you know it's aimed at blacks and Hispanics, man. Because we the only people that be doing that type of stuff. Nigga ain't 8 years, brother. You just did eat 30 minutes ago, brother. Let's go. You got that's it on there. Go ahead.
I'll read the rest of it.
And if any man hunger, let him eat at home, that ye come not together unto condemnation.
Because that you come out to, because you don't want to show your greediness, man. Right? Read.
And the rest will I set in order.
So guess what? This is why we gotta set this thing in order, man.
You got to.
I'll touch it on. Go ahead.
And that thing is heavy right there, man. Because like we say, we want to show the nations, guess what? We want to show each other that, guess what? We can have good manners. You know, we can be hospitable to brothers and sisters, man. Ain't seen brothers and sisters all week, man. I'd be happy to see brothers and sisters that are in the truth, that's in this walk, walking as I walk, man. That should be a glorious thing for brothers and sisters to see. So you should go all out to speak to brothers and sisters, man.
And this ain't saying that you don't supposed to eat, because it's literally saying that when we come to eat. So that means you gonna get fed. But like you say, don't get like this like the thing is real, right?
It is, man.
But go ahead.
Let's go back to Isaiah 28:16.
The book of Isaiah, you want 26 again?
16.
I mean, that's what I'm
Yeah, 28:16.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 16 from the top. Therefore, thus said the Lord God, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone,
A what?
a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone,
A precious cornerstone, man. Precious, man. Read on.
a sure foundation.
A sure foundation, meaning what? Standing upon Christ going to get you a sure foundation to the kingdom, man. Like this is being proven and tried, man. Through what? Through many of the old prophets. Even all the way back from Enoch, man. Read on up.
He that believeth shall not make haste.
You that believe it, guess what? You gonna tarry to this thing, man. Meaning you gonna hear up and get this understanding. What's the precept for belief, brother Ezekiel?
Belief, that's 32 and 24 is right.
So rock 32 and 24, man. He that believeth, meaning he that keepeth the commandments, guess what? It's a sure foundation to the kingdom, man. A sure foundation. Let's go to the book of Ezra, chapter 3 and verse 11. Let's say we're going too fast. Make sure y'all raise your hands so we can slow it down.
What was that belief precept?
Sirach, chapter 32, verse 24. Sirach 32, 24.
The book of Ezra, chapter 3, verse 11.
What is Ezra? What captivity was Ezra in, Brother Hosea? Damn. It's too late. I don't want to hear it no more. What you got, twin? Persian and Mede. Persian and Mede. Write it down, man. If you write it down in your title, man, you have that thing. Persian and Mede. Read that from the top up.
Con, the book of
Ezra 1 and 1. Now, Ezra chapter 3 and verse 11.
the book of Ezra, chapter 3, the book of Ezra, chapter 3, verse 11.
Remember, I know brothers and sisters may be thinking about the class that Capt Yari did in First Ezra. But remember, Ezra was given an account of who? Josiah. So you have to remember that. Read this out.
Ezra, chapter 3, verse 11. And they sung together by course in praising and giving thanks unto the Lord, because he is good.
He is what?
He is good.
Read on up.
For his mercy endureth forever.
For what?
For his mercy endureth forever. Towards Israel.
So, toward all nations.
Towards Israel.
Read on up.
And all the people shouted with a great shout when they praised the Lord, because the foundation of the house of the Lord was laid.
Because the foundation was of the house of the what was laid out?
Of the Lord was laid.
And that's something that we must continue in doing, brothers and sisters. We have to continue to lay the foundation of the house of the Lord. Right now, guess what? This thing is being built, brothers and sisters, but we're not done yet. You know, we still have a lot of more building to do. Brother got to get that other cornerstone. Sisters got to help decorate. Brothers got to build the arks. Brothers got to build up the gates, man. These are all similitudes and parables for building what? Our nation. You take that thing down on an individual level, man. You are a stone as well. That's a part of that building, man. Guess what? A stone has to be crafted, cut, angled just right, man. Just like brothers and sisters' spirit, man. You have to get your spirit in order to fit into that kingdom, man, into that foundation. Go ahead,
Brother Judah, Brother Judah. Tap the brother next to you. What's your name, Bob? What's your name? Chris. Isaiah 28:16, we just talked about that chief cornerstone. What is a cornerstone? For you two, what's your name? I forgot what I name. Brother Andrew. What is that chief cornerstone that we're talking about? What is it? First of all, what is a cornerstone? I know you brothers knew, so we want to get y'all to get caught up as much as we can. What is a cornerstone?
Just a general definition.
Yes, like what is your definition of a cornerstone?
Basically, an extension of a foundation that's just above the earth, just as important, similar to a pillar.
It's the most important part, right? That cornerstone is where the foundation is laid of a building. This building has a cornerstone, right? Who is that cornerstone that we're referring to? So now the question is, who is that cornerstone? We just read in Isaiah 28:16, and we're reading it right now. The foundation laid. What is that? Who is that cornerstone? It's the Most High God, but in this instance, we're talking about Christ, right? Because we've seen so many brothers go against Christ, man. And when I tell you they 0 for 196 million. Every brother that we've seen go against Christ, man, has spelled out this truth, man. Doing bad, man. So your foundation needs to be on Christ, which is the law, right? We know Christ is the law. God, the Most High God, that's a great foundation to have on too, right? That's the Father and the Son. But just want you to get caught up in this and understand what this is going into, right? So the cornerstone that we're talking about referring to is Christ, the laws of the Most High God, right? So always have a good sturdy foundation, and that foundation starts with Christ or the laws of the Most High.
That's right. Let's go to the book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 5. It's the spirit. I wasn't gonna get it. You know, the Lord compels us to bring these things out. It's not in my notes. But hey, we go as the spirit bade us, man. 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 5. Because guess what? We are stones. We're not that chief cornerstone, but we're part of that building. We are members of Christ. Most High God gives great analogies. He gives construction analogies. He gives garden analogies. He gives bodily analogies. And guess what? All of these things symbolizes the nation of Israel. Read this out.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 5. Ye also as lively stones.
Guess what? Brothers and sisters have to be as lively stones, excited about keeping God's commandments. I know a lot of times we see, even with younger brothers and sisters, they're excited about Cardi B. No, that's not the thing to get excited about. That's why we be on, and we have to be on parents, making sure that y'all guiding y'all, the daughters, the sons in the right way, because we understand the peer pressure of high school can take a toll on students. That's why you have to constantly, guess what, know what's going on in their phones, know what's going on at their schools. You have to constantly talk to them and bring up scenarios to, guess what, to teach them and get them to understand, like, hey, them people that's at your school, if they don't repent, they gonna die. You know, you looking at the sister wearing the hoochie mama clothes, but guess what? She ain't gonna get nothing but 3 baby daddies. You don't get a brother that got, guess what, 3 baby mamas. You know, and he's not taking care of none of them. You know, that's not the mentality or the spirit to have. So this is parents' jobs to do what? To guide their daughters and their sons in that right direction. Read that again from the top.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 5. Ye also as lively stones are built upon a spiritual house.
And that's what our job is built up on the spiritual house. Read on.
An holy priesthood.
We are a holy priesthood. Read on.
To offer up spiritual sacrifice acceptable to God by Hamashiach Yahweh.
And that thing is heavy. Read on.
Verse 6. Wherefore it is contained in the scripture. Behold, I lay in Zion on a chief cornerstone. Elect.
What?
Elect.
What, brothers?
Elect.
Read on.
Precious. And he that believeth on him shall not be confounded.
What we just read that in Soldier Dog. You know, I'm always lurking. Gotcha, brother. What you got? You couldn't hear me in the speaker right there. The speaker right there. Damn. Hold on. Let me ask the brother that's behind you. Somebody give it to him. Isaiah 28. I kind of redeemed myself. Kind of. The brother behind you heard, but you didn't hear. Isaiah 28, verse 16. Yeah, for real.
So it might be Ehud's son probably told.
So we see this precious cornerstone is Christ, and it's our job to continue to build it upon that foundation even after Passover. Let's go to the book of Psalms 11 and 3. Because it's always a flip side, man. If you're not building, guess what? You're destroying or being destroyed. If you're not building, you're being destroyed, man.
And that's a good observation what Ox is saying. Because just like how we living on this earth, if you're not growing towards the Lord, you're growing away from the Lord.
That's right.
So you just not gonna walk around and ain't nothing happening to you. It's something's going on. If you're not seeking the Lord, there's something's going on. You're going the opposite direction of the Lord, man. You ain't just gonna walk by the Lord or just walk around and your life ain't nothing. Your life means something. And we need to take accountable of how we think about our life, man.
That's right. Start at verse 1. Psalms chapter 11 and verse 1.
The book of Psalms, chapter 11, verse 1. In the Lord put I my trust. How say ye to my soul, flee as a bird to your mountain?
To your what?
To your mountain.
Read on up.
For lo, the wicked bend their bow. They make ready their arrow upon the string, that they may privily shoot at the upright in heart.
And that's what they're constantly doing, because now they're starting to pass laws to do what? Cause the what? The famine of the word. Now they causing things to, guess what? You can't say certain things about small hats, not putting out particular signs. These things are being passed, and if brothers and sisters are not tuned in to what's going on, guess what? You're going to be caught out there, man, for real. You're going to be left out there. You ain't going to know what the hell is going on, and you're not going to know how to move in those particular type of situations, man. That's how they shoot at the upright, privily, meaning privately. They're not doing these things out in the open. They're doing these things subtly, under the radar. Because they know blacks and Hispanics, we're really not paying attention to the news like that. We're not paying attention to politics and the laws that they are passing to stop this truth. Labeling us what? Black extremists. What? Like we always say, when do we burn a manure in somebody's yard, man? Hey, I'd like to see that account. Like I said, if we're extremists and we're doing these things, that will be going against God's commandments. That makes absolutely no sense. So they try to combine it both in one. Come at us keeping God's commandments, so guess what? They can continue to rule, man. We have to watch out for these things, and we have to use wisdom in these last days, brothers and sisters. Read on up.
Verse 3, if the foundation be destroyed.
Read that again.
If the foundation be destroyed.
Read on.
What can the righteous do?
Hey, if you don't have a good foundation, man, what can you do in this truth? You can't survive in this truth, man. You won't survive. That's right, that's a correction. You won't survive, man. Foundation is, brothers, guess what? Being in tune with the classes, seeing if you can put out an opportunity to read for an officer or for a soldier coming to Camp 101. Sisters, guess what? Doing as much as they can in this truth, staying over after class, asking questions. You have to do what you have to do to, guess what? So that your foundation don't be uprooted and destroyed from you, man. By you putting in more truth, they don't give the devil idle playground. We know the saying. Like I said, but if you're occupied in the scriptures and you're occupied in putting in work in the truth, guess what? These things won't overcome you, man. If you're sincere about these things, man. Let's go to the book of Proverbs chapter 5, verse 11. Because we want brothers and sisters, like we say, brothers and sisters did a great job, man. But we want to take it up a notch, man. Like we say, just like how class was packed for the Passover, we want class to be packed for the 7-day Sabbath, man. It wasn't no chairs up in here, man. But you know, we see a few little chairs. Sisters be packing out the building. Brothers are okay, but guess what? That mug was packed up.
Not just a 7-day Sabbath, every 7-day
That's right.
Sabbath, man.
That's exactly right, man.
Right? Because the thing is, just like I was explaining, if your job tell you to be there Sunday through Friday at 4 o'clock in the morning, guess what you're gonna be at? Sunday through Friday, 4 o'clock in the morning. You're gonna be there, and guess what? You're gonna be there. You're gonna be there on time. You can be pissed off all you want to, but guess what? You're gonna have your black butt up in his job, man. Right? And that's how us should be. If we ain't thinking more than that for our God, for our King, for our nation, because you ain't just doing it just for the Lord or for the Most High. You doing it for your brothers and sisters, man. You doing it for your whole entire family. Why you think the Lord said He picked you out of your whole family? You the light for your own family. You are the light for your entire family. They got to see something, because guess what? Most of your family is in darkness. You the only light that your family has. So if your light go out, imagine your whole family. They ain't got nothing else either. Why you think the Lord said, well, we are lively stones, man? We got to start keeping it mentioned in our mind about it, man. Go ahead, guys.
And even like that, to touch on another level, you know, the same level. Like we say, that's why we be on brothers. Like we say, if you don't come to class, don't come to camp. Like we say, no call, no show. Just like the job, man. And we're trying to get things in order, man. That thing is pivotal. If you ain't reaching out to captains, officers, letting brothers know what's going on. Now, understand, we ain't talking about brothers that have to work. Use wisdom, brothers. Don't be simple. But we are talking about brothers that don't come to class, that have a means to come to class and are not utilizing that thing. Even for brothers that, guess what, don't have a car. We done told brothers time and time again. You know, shots fired, brother Uriah. I'm gunning for your ass. Shots fired. Because we done told you have many brothers that stay on that side that don't mind coming to pick you and your family up. Brothers got to take their sons back home too. Shots fired. You know, I'll bust that thing, man. Because like we said, we ain't playing no games up in here, man. We can't play. We want diligent brothers and diligent sisters. Hell, damn what we think the Lord want diligent brothers and diligent sisters, man. Like we said, we got to understand that we building the kingdom right here, man. Let's go to the book of Proverbs 5 and 11. I'll read that.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 5, verse 11. And thou mourn at the last, when thy flesh and thy body are consumed.
Proverbs 5 and 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. Start at verse 11. Read that again.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 5, verse 11. And thou mourn at the last, when thy flesh and thy body are consumed.
So guess what? If you don't have a good foundation, you're going to mourn at the last. Read on up.
And say, how have I hated instruction? And my heart despised reproof.
Because you're going to say that, man. You're going to understand that you done messed up, man. It's just like that brother, that detective on, what is the movie? You know you done messed up, right? Menace to Society. You know you done messed up, right? You're going to have that same mentality, man. Read verse 12 again.
And say, how have I hated instruction? And my heart despised reproof.
And my heart despised reproof. That's something that we cannot despise, brothers and sisters, because that's what the Bible is all about. It's all about correction. You take those things in truthfulness, man. Whether it's, guess what? Because like we always say, all correction ain't judgment. You know, sometimes it's good counsel, man. You know, we want to talk with brothers and tell them how good of a job that they do. A lot of times we ask brothers and sisters to come to counsel, what I did now. Well, what have you done, sister or brother? Hey, inquiring minds want to know then. Read on,
Come, verse 13. And have not obeyed the voice of my teacher.
Of my what?
Of my teacher.
Read on,
Nor incline my ear to them that instructed me.
Because a lot of times brothers look at us, but guess what? Who are our teachers? The Most High, Christ, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel. Guess what? We are the teachers as well too, man. it's our job to, guess what, read what the scripture's saying, guess what, give the instructions to brothers and sisters, man, whether they like it or not, man. Read on up.
I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly.
Read verse 14 again.
I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly.
He said almost, meaning what? He called himself, man.
Real time.
In real time, all praise. Called himself, and that's something that brothers and sisters must learn to do. You know when you are slipping, man. Catch yourself, man, and bounce back and seek the Most High God 10 times more. Like I said, we want to up the ante, man. Go 10 times harder for the Most High God. We got new moons coming up. We want to see brothers in the spirit, sisters in the spirit, worshiping the Most High God, man. Let's go to the book of Proverbs chapter 12, verse 24.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 24. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule.
Read that again.
Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 24. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule.
So brothers and sisters that are diligent and putting in work in this truth, those are the ones that are going to bear rule, man. Like you say, you have A coming to Sabbath class, coming to class, watching the videos, sharing the videos. Like you say, not trying to help push this truth. Because that's what sisters do have a voice, sharing the videos, man. You know, you have Sister Deborah now, like you say, out there teaching and rebuking brothers on the class. No, sisters have a office and a role that they can be, guess what, profitable in. They're sharing the video, helping push this truth to the four corners of the earth, man. Brothers as well, man. Read on up.
The hand of the diligent shall bear rule. But the slothful.
But the what?
But the slothful.
Read on up.
Shall be under tribute.
But the slothful shall be under tribute. What is tribute, twin? When you have to pay tribute, what is that? Any brother know?
Like respect.
Raise your hand. What you got? Each soldier hood. A debt or more taxes. Yeah, debt, taxes. We want to make sure that we do simplify those things. You know, paying tribute is paying taxes. Meaning what? We're confined to do these things. That's why when you get your paycheck, Esau already get his off the back end, off the front end, man. He already get his, man. He ain't tripping. Then that money starts to deplete more and more. You're like, damn, man, where did all my money go? It went to tribute, man, because guess what? We broke God's commandments. Most of them put holes in your pockets, man. Go ahead, Al.
I just seen a video of sister. She looked at the check. She said, damn, I'm trying to see when did Esau now work with me? What hours did they work and help me work these hours that I work? Because they showed took out every damn thing. When did they put in work? I'm like, damn, well, that's tribute, man. That's how you know we still under in captivity. That's right. Go ahead.
Read the last part out.
But the slothful shall be under tribute.
Why? So if we up under tribute, what the Lord calling us then? Read the context where we at, man.
But the slothful.
What the Lord call us again?
But the slothful.
The Lord call us slothful. That's why we pay tribute, because we slothful. We're not slothful to us serving our masters. We slothful for what? Us serving our God, man. That's why we up under tribute, because we slothful serving him. Guess what? Say class started this time, we half-ass dragging in, right? The Lord, guess what, put in your spirit, each individual person, he put in your spirit, I need you to read this many chapters a day. Guess what? You like, man, hey, man, my show on tonight, man. I mean, we slothful to serve our Lord, man. So guess what? That's why we pay taxes. So don't get mad why we got to pay taxes. See why you got to pay taxes. That's why you got to keep on going back to the root of the problem. That's why the Lord calls us slothful, man. We need to, not just slaves, no, slothful is what the Lord is calling us, man. Right? Read. Go ahead.
Read, let's go to the book of Haggai, chapter 1. Brothers should know they've been here for a while. Y'all should already know, man. Haggai chapter 1 and we'll start at verse 7. No, we started verse 6. Thanks, Doc. Read Haggai, and I don't know how long. Shamawat, you flip the Haggai. Y'all bet, Bruce, y'all bet not let Shamawat flip the Haggai before y'all. You too, little Benaniyah and Kobe. Look at it.
The book of Haggai, chapter 1, verse 6.
Bring it out, Doc.
Ye have sown much and bring in little.
Meaning we plow the fields, we plant seeds, but the Most High God is not blessing, guess what, us to have fruits. He's not blessing the increase of our first fruits. Because what? We're not giving the Lord his first fruits. Read on out.
Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough.
Uh-huh.
Ye drink, but ye are not filled.
Read on out.
So like ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm.
Read on.
And he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes.
Meaning what? The more money that you make, the more that the Most High God will take. When you put holes in a bag, that means that money is doing what, brothers? It's falling out. Fast you making it, the faster it's falling out, because what? We're not putting the Most High God first, man. This is what this is going into. And that goes on another level to your spirit as well. If you're not putting your spirit into the Most High God, man, he'll deplete your spirit, man. He literally will destroy your spirit. Just like how he brought you into this truth. Brothers and sisters make the mistake of just because you're in the truth, that you are automatically going to stay in the truth. That's never the case. That's never the case. You have to constantly work and maintain these things. Like we always say, when you come into a place, everything has what on it? Wear and tear. Even your spirits, man. So you have to constantly do what? Reinforce these things. Even similar to the building, we have to come in here, do certain things, touch up certain things. The building never stops, brothers and sisters. So you have to learn to apply that to your spirit. Read on.
Come. Verse 7. Thus said the Lord of hosts, consider your ways.
Do what?
Consider your ways.
Read on now.
Go up to the mountain and bring wood and build the house. And I will take pleasure in it, and I will be glorified, said the Lord.
So the Most High God put the spirit on Haggai to do what? To inspire them to do what? Continue in building the temple. Because they was halted by floods, by the other nations, by Esau, by the Arabians, Tobiah and them. When you read the book of Nehemiah and Ezra. Read on.
Verse 9. Ye looked for much, and lo, it came to little. And when ye brought it home, I did blow upon it.
So that money that you bring home, the Most High God do what? Blow that thing right out your pocket. That's what this is going into. He blow it right out your pocket, man. Some things you think you was finna go and do, probably take the wife on a date. Yeah, look here, nigga. Y'all ain't going nowhere. Go get some Williams chicken. Go get some Williams chicken, man. You ain't going to Texas Roadhouse. Go get some Williams, man. You'll be all right. Meditate on that thing, man.
That hurt. I know that hurt, man. Get what? If you don't feel nothing else in your soul, you felt that in your soul, man, right? Because you got to think all week long, we work, we bust our butt, man, to get these little piece of corn, man. Right? Get what? Like I say, Esau hit your check before you get it. You go to the gas station and buy some bag of chips and a drink. They gonna tax you again. Then you got to pay your rent and your light bill. The Lord started blowing. Get what? The children need something. Get what? Now mama calling, she need a light bill.
Lord.
But she still started blowing, man. Right? Because we just trying to give you a fiscal how the Lord blow in their pocket, man.
That's right.
Right? Go ahead.
Like you said, even with I ain't gonna lie, brother. So y'all better get that your bank statements on your damn phones to give you an account, because they be like, Esau go in there and dip look money out of his damn account. You don't have no recollection of that thing. Yes, that is a damn word. Damn it. I'm gonna make it a word.
Regulation.
Damn this English
RECOLATION. Regulation. Right. You don't have no regulation in this thing.
Right?
Go watch it.
Man, you got, like I said, y'all better get that banking thing on your phone, man. Right? Just imagine if Esau, if the bankers take 20 cents out of our account every day. Look at all the people in here. Man, look, every single day, 7 days, just say 7 days in a week.
Well, that's lit.
He done made at least probably $100 off us, man. Right? Just off us in this room. Right? So we got to be mindful of this, man. Go ahead.
Read verse 9 again.
Come, ye looked for much, and lo, it came to little.
Uh-huh.
And when he brought it home, I did blow upon it. Why, said the Lord of hosts?
Uh-huh.
Because of mine house that is waste, and ye run every man unto his own house.
Meaning you care about your own business rather than the business of the Lord, man.
Read that, man. Look.
Read that part again, man.
That's it.
Why, said the Lord of hosts? Because of mine house that is waste.
And he given an answer, because my house that is waste. House is going into the building in this specific context, but on a deeper level, it's going into what? Our spirits, man. You wasting your spirit, not building your house up. Most High God gonna blow upon you, man. Literally. Read on.
Come, and ye run every man unto his own house.
And you run every man into your own house. You care about the business, your own business, rather than the business of the Lord, man. And that's something that, brothers and sisters, we can't afford to do if we want to make it to the kingdom, man. Let's go to the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9.
The book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9. And let us not be weary in well-doing. For in due season we shall reap.
We shall what?
We shall reap.
And we'll reap if brothers and sisters put in the work. If you show forth your fruits, you'll be able to reap those fruits, man. The fruits is going into what? The kingdom. Read on out.
For in due season we shall reap if we faint not.
And I like how I stress that if we don't faint in this truth, man. Want to take this even after the Passover, like we say, to the next level, brothers and sisters. And then do what? Keep taking it to the next level. Like I always say, you don't want to find yourself complacent or getting burnt out or reaching your what? Your spiritual ceiling, man. Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 32 and verse 8. We got these type of spirits out here. These type of spirits out here. The book of Psalms, chapter 32 and verse 8.
The book of Psalms, chapter 32, verse 8. I will instruct thee and teach thee in the way which thou shalt go. I will guide thee with mine eye.
With this what?
With mine eye.
We don't know.
Be ye not as the horse or as the mule, which have no understanding.
Read on.
Whose mouth must be held in with bit and bridle, lest they come near unto thee.
Man, read verse 9 again.
Verse 9. Be ye not as the horse or as the mule.
What are the attributes? Any brother, raise your hand. What is the Most High God going into? Brother Fred, what is verse 9 going into? Read verse 9 again for him.
Be ye not as the horse or as the mule, which have no understanding, whose mouth must be held in with bit and bridle, lest they come near unto thee.
What is that going into? That are what? What are their attributes? That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's exactly right. We don't want to be like the horse and the mule to where you stubborn as hell. A precept should automatically be coming up in brothers' damn heads. Say it all together. Brothers in the damn spirit, man. That should automatically come up in brothers' heads, man. Because guess what? Those are their attributes. Let's get that right quick. We brought that precept out in a minute. We don't want to be like a horse or a mule that's stubborn, that don't want to go. you need a bridle or a bit to turn them in the way to go. No, the Most High God wants us to do these things, man. He wants us to take the initiative. And in taking the initiative, he wants us to be joyful and cheerful about these things, man, about doing it. You get that? Read that out.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 3.
Bring it out.
The ox knoweth his owner,
Uh-huh.
and the ass his master's crib.
Read on.
But Israel,
But who?
but Israel doeth not know.
Read on. Out.
My people doeth not consider.
They don't consider, man, because our people are stubborn and guess what? Rebellious as hell, man. My God's people don't consider. Read on up.
A sinful nation.
Hey, what up?
A sinful nation. A people laden with
What
iniquity.
you laughing at, up? Oh, read on up.
A people laden with iniquity.
Uh-huh.
A seed of
A
evildoers.
seed of evildoers, man. Because guess what? We rebelled against the Most High. We're stubborn when it comes to guess what? Keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. Staying on fire in this truth, man. Is that it on that up? Keep going.
Children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel.
They have did what up?
They have provoked the Holy One of Israel
Uh-huh.
unto anger.
Unto what?
Unto anger. They are gone away backward.
And that's what our people do, man. We don't like to move forward. We like to go backward, man. We're backsliding children. Get there.
And brothers that's teaching class, what storyline do this sounds like, man? Like what we just read in Psalm chapter 32 and verse 8, what we read in Isaiah 1 and 3. Brothers that's doing class, what do that sound like? Give me a storyline. It ain't going particularly all the way with it, but it has an attribute of it. What you got? That's a good observation. But what else? Yeah, hey, he had to make him do it, right? But the storyline I'm kind of thinking about is like Jonah, right? That's kind of like going into like a perfect storyline for it. Like the Lord literally had like going into that he had to put like a bit or the bridle in his mouth. Like I'm gonna make you do this. Like well, he's trying to flee. The Lord said, okay, you gonna do this, right? So this going into like I'm saying, going to like a perfect storyline. Like these is attributes like saying going into building your classroom, right? Right?
Yeah, and like I said, that's right. Moses too. Because Moses, what? He had a little indignation at first, right? Lord, they not gonna hear me. Why you sending me, right? I'm not eloquent in the Hebrew tongue, right? So this is another storyline too. That's both of those storylines are great, man.
Right. Let's go to that right quick, man. Let's go to the book of Jonah right quick. What precept brothers thinking that I want in Jonah? Right? Since what precept I want to see what brothers heart is at, man. What precept brothers go concerning this Psalm chapter 32 and verse 8, what we just read, right? Isaiah 1 and 3. What precept would brothers put right there, man? Where will you go? I'm talking about just to hit the hard point. What'd he say? What'd you say? What Ezra say? Come here, come. What you say, Ezra?
Yeah, come up, Bob.
Jonah 1 and 3. Go ahead.
The book of Jonah, chapter 1, verse 3. But Jonah rose up to flee into Tarshish.
Right? Because the Lord gave Jonah a commandment, right? So Jonah got up and fled to Tarshish, right? Read.
But Jonah rose up to flee into Tarshish from the presence of the Lord.
From the presence of the Lord, read.
And went down to Joppa, and he found a ship going to Tarshish.
Right, read.
So he paid the fare thereof, and went down into it, to go with them unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord.
From the who?
From the presence of the Lord.
He tried to run from the presence of the Lord like he ain't everywhere, right? This is the bit in the bridle that the Lord put in Jonah's mouth. Read.
Verse 4. But the Lord sent out a great wind into the sea.
That was the bit and bridle that the Lord literally put into Jonah's mouth. He sent a great wind out because the bit and the bridle, because he gave an example of the animals, right? He gave them examples of the mule, right? And how he had to put the bit in their mouth. This is the bit that the Lord talking about that Jonah he had to put in Jonah's mouth, right? Read.
And there was a mighty tempest in the sea, so that the ship was like to be broken.
Right? So guess what? To the point that this bit and bridle, I'm gonna bring you back to where I want to, or I'm gonna kill you. Right? And this is how the Lord had made Jonah like, no, you gonna do what I say. Guess what? You know how if a horse is out of order, if anybody know anything about a horse, if that horse is out of order, man, guess what? You will be turning that horse head every which way you can just to get him in order. When he start feeling his neck start hurting a little bit more, guess what? He gonna calm down, man. But you got, if anybody ever rode a horse, you got for a wild horse, what do you have to do? You got to, what do they call it? You got to break it. And that's what the Lord would do to you. Guess what? When you want to be a wild horse, the Lord will break you, man. Right? Go ahead.
Yeah, let's go to Acts chapter 24, verse 32. Now we go to Acts. Luke chapter 24, verse 32. Salakia, brothers and sisters. Give me Job before we go there. Some just popped up. Give me Job chapter 11 and verse. Y'all keep what you call written down because we're going there next. Go to Job chapter 11 and verse 12. Most High God always compares us to these things, man.
The book of Job, chapter 11, verse 12. For vain men would be wise, though man be born like a wild ass's colt.
Hey, see what the Most High God called us, man. Man be born like a wild ass colt, man. Because guess what? We need to be guided. We're rebellious. We're stubborn. We don't like to go in the ways of the Most High. He said, vain men would be wise. What is being wise, brothers? The commandments. All praise. That's what being wise is, man. Now let's go to the book of Luke chapter 24, verse 32. Because we want our spirit to be on fire in this truth, man. We want to be inflamed with zeal. You know, we want to have great passion for this truth, man. And you have to pray to the Most High God that He keeps that spirit on you. Luke 24, verse 32.
The book of St. Luke, chapter 24, verse 32. And they said one unto another, did not our heart burn within us?
Start at verse 31.
The book of St. Luke, chapter 24, verse 31. And their eyes were open, and they knew him, and he vanished out of their sight.
Because Christ was giving them the understanding of the scriptures. That's what happens every time we open up the scriptures. The Most High God does what? Have Christ sit with us. Meaning He may open up some understanding to you. But you have to do what? Open up the book to get the understanding. Read on out.
And they said one unto another, did not our heart burn within us?
Did not our heart what?
Did not our heart burn within us?
Read on out.
While he talked with us by the way.
So when you're reading the scriptures should make you want to get on fire, man. It should ignite something in you to guess what? Make you go hard in this truth, man. Read on out.
And while he opened to us, while he opened to us the scripture.
The what?
The scripture.
So that's what caused them to have a burning inside, man. When he opened up and gave them the understanding of the scriptures. It should make you burn inside when we know that the kingdom is only for us. It should make you burn inside when even like Officer Barricade was going into the other nations, going into captivity, man. That should ignite something in brothers and sisters, man. That thing should make you feel some type of way, man. It should make sisters want to get in order when they seeing ratchet sisters and our sisters are being portrayed as those things. They take one or two sisters and they think all the sisters are like that. No, we got sisters that's in the truth. That's guess what? That's modest. That know how to speak in season and out of season. and that is perfecting on being holy women according to the scriptures. That thing should burn within brothers and sisters, man. Let's get another precept. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 14 and verse 25. One of my favorite precepts, man.
The Most High today putting that bridle up on us right now. A lot of us don't want to take that bridle. What's that bridle that he put up on us right now? The law, but what else? Curses, but what else? Your teachers that you see right now before you. I ain't listening to them niggas. Now, who is these niggas, man? Why you put that bridle on you right now, man? Well, get into a camp, right? Get back into order. Be able to be taught again, man. Right? Be able to learn all over again. That's a bridle that the Lord put on us right now. A lot of people don't want to go. They wild. I'm gonna go look at this, brother. I'm gonna go teach. I'm gonna go watch this. I'm gonna go look at this. I'm gonna go under this. Right? So we gotta be able to take that bridle. That's all different kind of bridles that the Lord used on us, man. None of y'all answers was wrong.
When you get there, read that out. 2nd Ezra chapter 14, verse 25.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 14, verse 25. And come hither, and I shall light a candle of understanding in thine heart.
Read on out.
Which shall not be put out.
This is something that brothers and sisters got to pray for. This is what the Most High God gave Ezra, man. To, guess what? To set him back on fire. To guess what? Write the books that were destroyed and to do what? Build back up the temple, man. This is similar to the same things we're going into today, man. We are building up our spiritual temples, man. Read on out.
To the things be performed which thou shalt begin to write.
Man, read on out.
And when thou hast done, some things shalt thou publish, and some things shalt thou show secretly to the wise.
So the deeper understanding will be to the wise. Read on.
Tomorrow, this hour, shalt thou begin to write.
So guess what? The Most High God put the spirit back on Ezra to do what? Rewrite the books that the Babylonians destroyed. And we want that same spirit that the Most High God gave Ezra, man. We pray for a double portion of that spirit. Brothers and sisters have that ability. We have that power within us to ask the Most High God to give us a portion of that brother's spirit, man. Go ahead, Doc.
Man, look, man. That's a heavy. I'm talking about a heavy precept.
It is.
I'll read that verse 25 again.
Come, verse 25 from the top. And come hither, and I shall light a candle of understanding in thine heart.
Right? And this is perfect, man. I'm talking about perfect, right? It says, the Lord said, come here, I'm going to light a candle of understanding in your heart, right, Reed?
Which shall not be put out.
He said, hold on. This is the heaviest part. It said, which shall not be put out. Imagine the Lord trusts you so much that he put a light into you that nobody can put out. Well, I'll tell you something. Man, I pray for that thing, man. This man, I don't understand. I mean, I read this scripture a lot, man, but today, man, this hit hard, man. I would like for a Lord to put a spirit on me that I can't nobody put out.
That's right.
That's strong, man. Boy, that's strong, right? That's looking at the kingdom, man. Right? That's the man. The Lord can really trust you, man. If he can put a spirit on you that you can't nobody put out, man. Right? That's the same thing. That's what the disciples hated, man.
That's right.
Right? Read it.
Which shall not be put out till the things be performed which thou shalt begin to write.
What precept is the count? What you got, Renaud? All praise.
All right.
A little bit of now, what's the light according to the Bible? Say it louder. Go ahead, Capt.
We finally got that thing, huh? But this is heavy too. Read that again, man. This is a heavy precept. It is, man. Read this again. Yes.
Come, and come hither, and I shall light a candle of understanding in thine heart, which shall not be put out, till the things be performed which thou shalt begin to write.
Read 26.
And when thou hast done, some things shalt thou publish.
Read that again.
And when thou hast done, some things shalt thou publish. And some things shalt thou show secretly to the wise.
This is why we got to study to show ourselves approved each and every day. Some things are shown to us or published to us right in our face, right? Law, statutes, and commandments, the Lord made that easy for us to see that we were going wickedly, right? But he said some things hide, man. That's why Proverbs 25:2 is so heavy, because it's our honor to unlock things, man, within this Bible. That's heavy too, man. You got to make sure that you study each and every day to show yourself approved. Why? Because some things are hid. This is where Christians go off right here. Because they look at every scripture and they want to look at it for face value. When every scripture is not face value, right? That's going into like the abridgment, right? Like you said, when we are breaking down things in this Bible, they said the exact, that's just like when we teach it, right? You're doing class for 3-4 hours, hey man, that's not abridgment. Break that thing down. Now, you know, we have a Sabbath class 2, 3, 4, that thing will go. But you want to be able to get to the exact, precise points of what we're doing so that people can understand it, right? I'm telling you, man, that's heavy, man. Unlocking some things to be able to for brothers and sisters to be able to come and give them a true understanding, that's love, man. Jump over to 14 and 6 right quick, man.
Second Ezra, chapter 14, verse 6.
Bring it out.
These words shalt thou declare,
Uh-huh.
indeed shalt thou hide.
So you see that he tell the Ezra the same thing, man. Some words are to be declared, man, and some things are to be hidden, man. So we got to make sure that we constantly endure and study to make sure we stay up on this thing so that we can unlock those hidden things, right? Go ahead.
That precept is Proverbs chapter 12, verse 23. We ain't got to go there because I know I'm pretty great, go somewhere else.
Right.
But that precept to 2 Ezra chapter 14 said that the words shalt thou declare and these shalt thou hide. Going into the hide the words, it goes into Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 23. A prudent man concealeth knowledge, right? This goes into that understanding. Go ahead.
Let's go to the book of 2 Kings chapter 9 and verse 1. I know we'll kind of touch on Jehu, King Jehu. Who know about King Jehu? Any brother? When y'all reading these things, go ahead. What you say? When y'all reading these things, make sure y'all put the little subtitles in there too. You know, over those things, because it is a lot of history. You know, you have to constantly go over these things to understand what you got. Yeah, he did. He anointed him, but what did he do? What was the significant thing that he did? You know what? Yeah. That's right. That's right. All his 70 sons. Most High God put the spirit on him. We're going to touch on that a little bit. This thing is heavy, so brothers and sisters, go back and kind of read it more in detail. What you say? Okay. 2 Kings chapter 9 and verse 1. 2 Kings chapter 9 and verse 1. Kind of go into Jehu. This was a king of the northern tribe. When you get there, read this out.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 9, verse 1. And Elisha, the prophet, called one of the children of the prophet and said unto him, gird up thy loins.
And that's the same thing that we're commanded to do. Gird up our loins, sisters, gird up your skirts. Read on.
And take this box of oil in thy hand and go to Ramoth Gilead. And when thou comest thither, look out there Jehu, the son of Jehoshaphat, the son of Nimshi, and go in and make him arise up from among his brethren and carry him to an inner chamber.
So we see that the Most High God had Elisha anoint Jehu as the northern tribe king. Read verse 3.
Verse 3, then take the box of oil and pour it on his head and say, thus said the Lord, I have anointed thee king over Israel. Then open the door and flee and tarry not.
So we see that, guess what? He was anointed king. So he was given what? Responsibility. Similar to what we have today. The Most High God is waking you up, giving you understanding, giving you laws, statutes, and commandments. So with that comes a great responsibility to where you do what? Guide yourself and then try to guide and teach others that are around you. Jump down to 10 and 1.
What you want? What you want? No, it's a lot. That thing is good. I know.
I just picked the kind of the best parts. All of it's the best. But give me 2 Kings chapter 10, verse 1.
2 Kings chapter 10, verse 1. And Ahab had 70 sons in Samaria.
Samaria is the capital of what, brothers? Of Ephraim. Read on.
And Ahab had 70 sons in
I heard
Samaria.
Ezekiel. Read it. He ain't wrong, but read on.
And Jehu wrote letters and sent to Samaria unto the rulers of Jezreel, to the elders, and to them that brought up Ahab's children, saying, Now as soon as this letter cometh to you, seeing your master's sons are with you, and there are with you chariots and horses, a fenced city also, in armor. Look even out the best and meanest of your master's sons, and set him on his father's throne, and fight for your master's house.
And do what?
And fight for your master's house.
Read on.
But they were exceedingly afraid, and said, Behold, 2 kings stood not before him. How then shall we stand? And he was over, and he that was over the house, and he that was over the city, the elders also, and the bringers up of the children sent to Jehu, saying, We are thy servants. We will do all that thou shalt bid us. We will not make any king. Do thou which is good in thine eyes.
So they let them know, do that which is good in your eyes, and what the Most High God put on your spirit. Read on.
Verse 6. Then he wrote a letter the second time to them, saying, If ye be mine, and if ye will hearken unto my voice, take ye the heads of the men of your master's sons. So like take ye the head of the men your master's sons, and come to me to Jezreel by tomorrow this time. Now the king's sons being 70 persons,
now the king's son being 70 persons, 70 sons, read on,
were with the great men of the city, which brought them up. And it came to pass, when the letter came to them, they took the king's son and slew 70 persons, and put their heads in baskets, and sent them to Jezreel.
So we see that the Most High God, guess what, put the spirit on Jehu to do what? To kill Ahab's 70 sons, man. Because do any brother know about Ahab? What did Ahab do? He was wicked. We know he was wicked as hell, but give me a little bit more detail. What did he do? What did he do, Brother Bilal?
He had made priests. He just anointed priests for himself. And something about the temple. He did the temple out of order. He appointed priests out of order, right?
Home in, Brother Fred.
Ahab, he was a wicked king. He had killed
Naboth for his land. Under the orders of who? Jezebel, his bride, which was a what? A Hamite.
Did he not do what I was
Now he was wicked, but that's one of the main points that we do focus on. That he took the land of Naboth and was listening and getting counsel from his wicked Hamite wife, meaning she was ruling over him. So the Most High God is not dealing with weak men that is not correcting your wives when you know damn well that she's going off. We don't give a damn if she get mad, man. The Lord don't give a damn if she get mad, because guess what? The Lord gonna look at you, brothers, for you to get those things in order, man. And that's on sisters as well, too, because guess what? Sisters know what their role is according to the Bible. If you don't, ask your husband at home. If your husband don't know, husbands, guess what? Call the captains. We'll give you that understanding that you take back to your wives. So the Most High God put the spirit on Jehu to kill all his lineage, man. Because guess what? That spirit of being weak could jump on the sons, man. If he's a king, then he'll be trying to do what? Anoint his sons. to take that same place and that same spirit and never get up out of that particular type of house. Read on up.
Verse 8. Yeah, verse 8. And there came a messenger and told him, saying, they have brought the heads of the king's son. And he said, lay ye them in 2 heaps at the entering in of the gate until the morning.
So we see, even when you jump down to verses 11 and 14, we see that Ahab's family was destroyed. Jump down to verse 16.
Verse 16. And he said, come with me and see my zeal for the Lord.
And see my what?
And see my zeal for the Lord.
So we see that Jehu had a great zeal for the Most High God in doing what? Doing what the Most High God commanded him to do. Slaying Ahab's 70 sons, man. But brothers can start off having zeal, but do and will, brothers and sisters, continue in having zeal. Jump down to verse 31. It's a good read. It's a lot. Jump down to verse 31. 29.
Verse 29. Howbeit, from the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin, Jehu departed not from after them, to wit the golden calves that were at Bethel, and that were in Dan.
So we see that, guess what? He had zeal, but did he continue in having zeal? No, he didn't, man. This thing is heavy because, like a lot of times, brothers and sisters come into this truth on fire, but do you last until the end? Do you continue to have that fire burning inside of you, man? Read on up.
Verse 30. And the Lord said unto Jehu, because thou hast done well in executing that which is right in mine eyes, and hast done unto the house of Ahab, according to all that was in mine heart, thy children of the 4th generation shall sit on the throne of Israel.
So the Most High God blessed him to have his children sit on the throne in the 4th generation of Israel. Read on up.
But Jehu took no heed to walk in the law of the Lord God of Israel.
Read that part again up.
But Jehu took no heed to walk in the law of the Lord God of Israel.
Because you have to understand what comes with a lot with being the king. You have many riches, you have women, you have access to many things that other brothers and sisters don't have access to. So therefore, it can get you what? Complacent in the truth. Similar to brothers. Brothers have access to get what? Multiple wives. If your ass ain't in the spirit, the multiple wives, you're going to be, some lionesses going to be on your ass up in there, man. Meaning they're going to double team and triple team your behind, or however many you want to multiply to your behind. They're going to jump your behind up in there if you're not built up. Like you say, brothers and sisters have to have a good foundation in this truth, man. If you don't, because it's your job to guide and to teach and to build yourself up as well as your family. The truth is more than just having multiple wives, cussing out Esau on the street. No, this is about us establishing ourselves under God's laws and as a righteous nation that's going to rule the planet Earth. I know a lot of times we talk about the kingdom, but do brothers and sisters really understand what that means? Meaning we'll be the top race and everybody else will be the bottom race. Meaning we could go to Thailand and they're going to treat us like we Juneball in the hood. Hey, that's some power, man. The so-called white man has that power today, man. We're looking to that, man. But guess what? On a much more grander and a much more righteous scale, man. So with much responsibility, guess what? Hey, it's a lot required out of our people, man. Keep reading now.
But Jehu took no heed to walk in the law of the Lord God of Israel with all his heart, for he departed not from the sins of Jeroboam, which made Israel to sin.
Which made what?
Which made Israel to sin.
So he was on zeal at first, but then he did what? He fell back. He backslid, man. And he went into the sins of his forefathers before him. Go ahead.
When did he sin? When did he go into sin? What did the Lord do to him right before he sinned? We just read it. What you got, Lord? What you got, Lord?
Speak up, Shamor. You speak louder than that at the feast
For
day.
real.
You run around everywhere.
You don't put your head back, stand bold as a lion.
Say what you say, just speak loud.
The Lord said that He will make His son on the throne of Israel.
Exactly. So what did the Lord do right before he went off? The Lord blessed him, man. The Lord just literally blessed him, man. Literally just blessed him and his family, man. And what did he do? He went right off, man. Because what would that gift do sometimes to you? It'll destroy you, man. Some of us can't take gifts and take them good. I don't won. They think I don't won the game now. Hit a 3-pointer, you don't won. It's still 8 seconds left on the clock. Other team went down, won the game. Right after the Lord blessed him, he went off. Some of us can't take those blessings and still be able to go. We just had a great blessing with the Passover. That's what the class is going to. Just had a great blessing. Lord, hell still the flood. Now what you gonna do? Is the game over?
That's right.
No, we still got some more games left to play.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Put it home it into the class, man. Lord just blessed us, man. He went right off after that. Go ahead.
Read verse 31 again, huh?
Come, verse 31 from the top. But Jehu took no heed to walk in the law of the Lord God of Israel with all his heart, for he departed not from the sins of Jerubbaal, which made Israel to sin.
So let's see what the penalties is. Read.
Verse 32. In those days, the Lord began to cut Israel short.
Read it again, huh?
The Lord began to cut Israel short.
And this is a prelude to brothers and sisters after this Passover, man. If you don't continue to build and have zeal for the Most High God, He will what, brothers and sisters? Cut you short. He'll cut you short, man. He'll slowly but surely start, guess what? Taking that spirit away at the ankles. Then at the knees, just like in the book of Ezekiel, how he was given the understanding and it was raising up, and then it went to a level to where he was just overflow with understanding. Guess what? The Most High got to reverse that thing, man. That's something that brothers and sisters got to meditate on. Go ahead, Al.
He just did it, man. In 29, the Lord gave him all kind of accolades for not going after Jerubbaal way. So he didn't depart into those ways. He did go into the golden calf. That's just in verse 29. We get 4 verses later now, he done went back into the ways, man. Man, say, it's easy for us to slip up and fall, Israel.
That's right.
So we got to stay grounded, man. Stay on the straight and narrow. It's easy. I don't know if y'all seen this, man. Did y'all just read what we just read? What did he say in verse 20? Read 29, man.
Verse 29. Howbeit, from the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin.
What did Jehu do?
Jehu departed not from after them.
Read.
To wit, the golden calves that were in Bethel and that were in Dan.
So Jehu wasn't following those things at that time, man, right? Go ahead.
30.
Yeah.
Verse 30. And the Lord said unto Jehu, because thou hast done well.
Because you have done what?
Have done well.
Jehu was just doing well, man. Not going into it. You get down to 32, 33, 34, he already went back into what he wasn't going into. That's us, man. That's us, but we're going right back into it. Be smoking, and here you go. And they come out with that, man. It's that Cali Kush right here, man. Hit that one time. Ear. Right back into it.
Right.
That's right. Go ahead,
Watch this. Go to Exodus right quick, chapter 16. I'm going to show you something. Like Ak is touching on, man. This is what we touched on, kind of, brothers touched on Camp 101. We kind of like to bring the congregation in so we kind of show y'all some of the stuff that we touched on too, right? Exodus chapter 16, start at verse 1. Watch this.
The book of Exodus, chapter 16, verse 1. And they took from their journey from Elim,
Right, read.
and all the congregation of the children of Israel came unto the wilderness of sin.
So what does the wilderness of sin mean? I ain't talking to a brother that went to Camp 101. What does the wilderness of sin mean? Huh? No. Okay. Brothers that's been to Camp 101, what does the wilderness of sin mean? Temptation. When you come to serve the Lord, what do you have to prepare your soul for? Because the Lord gave you the laws. He can't try you with the laws. He has to try you with what? Or with what? Well, what would the scripture call it? Sin. Right? This is how being brothers and sisters being tried with sin. Right? You ain't being tried because if you have to put the laws in, you don't need sin to try you. Right? So how do he trials? He had the trials with sin. He had to put something in our way to look at it. No, I don't want it because the Lord told me this. This is how you justify yourself with the Lord, right? Read on.
Which is between Elam and Sinai.
Right, read.
On the 15th day of the second month.
This is 1 month later. First month where we had what? The Passover. This is the second month after Passover, right? Read.
After the departing out of the land of Egypt.
Right? Read.
And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness.
The second month coming out of the Passover. It said the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured, man. Y'all think about what Hawk is touching on in the class. After 1 month later, after the Passover, going into the second month, what happened? They started murmuring. Right? This is why brothers and sisters this is why these classes must need thee. Because we have to check our spirit, man. Because when we don't check our spirit, guess what? This is how we go off. This is literally the second month after Passover when the Lord literally showed them all the plagues, how he killed the other nations off. Took them through, departed the Red Sea, right? Now they come into the wilderness. After all of this happened, they start murmuring and complaining. I mean, just like all the stuff that the Lord showed us during Passover, should a brother or sister murmur and complain, or should you get up here and start working, man? Right? We got to start checking our spirit, man. Go ahead.
Keep reading, Doc.
Verse 3.
No, go back to 2 Kings. 2 Kings chapter 10 and verse 32. So you see that Jehu had zeal, but he didn't continue in zeal. Read this out.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 10, verse 32. In those days, the Lord began to cut Israel short, and Hazael smote them in all the coast of Israel.
Meaning the Most High God sent the Syrians against us. Hazael was a Syrian king of the Aramean dynasty. Let's go to the book of John, chapter 2, verse 17. We have to continue in having zeal in this truth, man. We don't want brothers and sisters to get burnt out. You know, these spirits jump on us too. Myself, and we always testify to these things, man. Be so tired you don't want to read. You just have to keep reading. You know, you have to keep pushing yourself. You have to keep praying. You have to keep fasting. You have to keep pushing yourself, man. You know, these things are going to keep, up in the ante, man. You have to keep up in the ante as well, brothers and sisters. So that's why it's pivotal that you, guess what, have your foundation on Christ, man. Go to what Christ did. Just like Christ had great zeal when he seen what? Brothers and sisters jacking up the temple. Man, we got to have the same zeal, man, when we see evil, man. Read this out.
The book of St. John, chapter 2, verse 17. And the disciples remembered that it was written, the zeal of thine house hath eaten me up.
Jump up to verse 14.
The book
Verse
of
13, Salakia.
The book of St. John, chapter 2, verse 13. And the Jews' Passover was at hand. And Yahushua went up to Jerusalem and found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves and the changers of money sitting. And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple, in the sheep and the oxen.
So they don't read this account about Christ, man. Christ was militant, man. Christ didn't play no games. Christ was a revolutionary, man. They don't like to read this. Christ was an extremist. They don't like that, man. That's why it's very important that brothers get this understanding and bring this teaching out to the class. Because they didn't like Christ during this time. The same way they don't like us. Because we doing what? Teaching and having great zeal for God's commandments, man. It's the same exact way. Read on up.
Come and poured out the changers' money and overthrew the table. And said unto them that sold doves, take these things hence. Make not my father's house an house of merchandise.
Make the Lord's house a house of merchandise. Read on up.
And the disciples remember that it was written, the zeal of thine house hath eaten me up.
Had what?
Hath eaten me up.
So guess what? Christ had great zeal to guess what? Rebuke wickedness that he's seen being done in the temples. And brothers and sisters have to have that same type of spirit when you see wickedness in there, man. Whether or not you see a brother or sister, if you can't address them, always come get the captives, man. Hey, I see this. Hey, let us know, because like we say, we need brothers' eyes and ears. We can't see everything, man. You know, we can't see everything. We also want to understand that, guess what? It is a time and a place. You have to use discretion. But guess what? We ain't going to play no games about correcting brothers and sisters. We just call you up to the table. Hey, brother, get that in order. Sister, get that in order. That's not right. That's the zeal that we must have. Not enough for us to, guess what, just be in the truth, but we have to correct wickedness when we see it, man. Where was this precept at? What brothers got the precept? What you got, Ehud? What was it first said even before that? Verse, y'all don't know what I'm looking for? Verse 17. Read it again, up.
Book of St. John, chapter 2, verse 17. And the disciples remember that it was written, the zeal of thine house hath eaten me up.
So that's a precept that you put, but what was it first written at? Psalm 69 and what? And 9. Let's get there right quick. Remember, when Christ was teaching, he was teaching what? The Old Testament. The Old Testament, giving them the understanding.
The book of Psalms, chapter 9, verse 9. The book of Psalms, chapter 69, verse 9. For the zeal of thine house hath eaten me up. And the reproaches of them that reproach thee are fallen upon me.
So we see that those reproaches are fallen on Christ, man. Those things fell on Christ, man. So we're not going to just waste what Christ did for us to bring us back into the fold, man. So we got to continue in that great zeal. Way after the Passover, man. Going into a new moon, going into the Pentecost.
And these things right here should carry, Passover should carry brothers to the Day of Atonement. Right? Guess what? And the Day of Atonement is in the middle of the year. And so from the Day of Atonement to Tabernacle should carry brothers, guess what, back to Passover, man. Right? This is how you keep your year going, man. Right? And within that times, guess what? You have the Sabbath to, guess what, get your mind in order. Don't bring anything out of Sabbath, take anything away from the Sabbath. Guess what? From day to day, thinking about don't let the sun go down on your wrath. These things should take brothers and sisters' mind from day to day, from week to week, from new moon to new moon, from high holy day to high holy day. These things, we have so many ways that we can correct ourselves to the point the Lord said, I gave y'all every opportunity. Guess what? You still didn't choose it, man. Right? So this is why we got to make sure that we stand fast, man. Go ahead.
Let's go to the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 9 and verse 1. Because remember, Paul was doing the same thing. Paul was establishing what? In his epistles, he was establishing churches in these particular areas. Basically doing what? Setting up camps. In the church of Corinth, in the church of Ephesus, in the church of Galatia, in the church of Colossus. All these different places that Paul went, he was doing what? Setting up churches, man. Setting up Israelite camps. It's the same thing. You get there, read this, huh?
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 1. For as touching the ministry to the saints, it is superfluous for me to write to you.
To write to you, superfluous is going into unneeded or not required, because they knew what they were supposed to be doing. Paul was there to, guess what? Make sure things run smoothly. And that's why the Most High God has leadership set up. These leadership orders are passed down from captains to officers to soldiers, to the sisters, to the children. And we want those things to go smoothly. Like we say, we always compare it to the churches in Revelation. Christ was going throughout saying what things they needed to get in order in their particular congregation. Brothers and sisters see the things that need to be in order. We need brothers and sisters help getting those things in order. Like I said, just imagine Christ passing through all these Israelite congregations. We want things to be in order. The Lord showed up at our door, man. Sisters in order, brothers in order, the children in order. We don't want Christ pulling us to the side, man, because you know it's going to be a bad day for that, man. Y'all have to think about that, man. Read on, huh?
Verse 2. For I know the forwardness of your mind, for which I boast of you, to them of Macedonia.
So we had Israelites in Macedonia. Read on.
That Achaia was ready a year ago, and your zeal have provoked very many.
And your zeal have provoked very many. We need our zeal to provoke many in this truth, man. We need those things, man. Last precept, let's go to Isaiah chapter 63 and verse 15.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 63, verse 15. Look down from heaven, and behold, from the habitation of thy holiness and of thy glory, where is thy zeal and thy strength?
Read that again.
Where is thy zeal and thy strength?
This is the Most High through Christ asking us, because this is literally Christ speaking, man. You know, Isaiah 63 is going into a question and response between who? Isaiah and Christ. So Christ is literally asking us, where is our zeal? And that's a question, like we say, I try to pose to brothers and sisters after class. Where is your zeal, man? Is your zeal at a 1, at a 2, at a 3, at a 4? So our brothers do on the spirit check, man. Where is your zeal at, man? Read that again.
Come, look down from heaven, and behold, from the habitation of thy holiness and of thy glory, where is thy zeal and thy strength?
Read that again.
Where is thy zeal and thy strength?
All together, brothers.
Where is thy zeal and thy strength?
Read on,
the sounding of thy vow, and of thy mercies towards me.
Read on,
are they restrained?
Hey, or is your zeal restrained, man? Don't let your zeal be restrained to give the Most High God. Guess what he's asking for, man? To be on fire for him, man. And with that, give all honor and praise to the Most High. Say shalom. We always tell brothers and sisters, thank you for the donations and the alms that brothers and sisters send. That money is being put to use, like I said, according to the scriptures. We always tell brothers and sisters to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. So we always like to bring out a law. Any rule, what brother got a law? Any law? What about lawgivers? Ain't y'all the lawgivers? What the lawgivers at? Where Benjamin at, man? Where Levi? Shamawar, where Levi? What you got, brother Fred?
I got Leviticus 23. Now 26 and 1.
Leviticus 26 and 1. We can get that right quick. Read that.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 1. Ye shall make you no idols, nor graven images, neither rear you up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land to bow down unto it.
To do what?
To bow down unto it.
So we can't serve or worship any graven images. We can have them, but not to bow down and worship them. We said that's why we have the images, to give our people a visual. Sometimes our people lack that understanding without a visual, brothers and sisters, but we're not bowing down to them. Like I say, brothers and sisters have any questions, they always reach out to us. Like I say, brothers and sisters are welcome to come visit us, brothers and sisters that are out of state. You know, help us push this truth, share the videos, like the videos, help this thing circulate through the algorithm. And with that, we say shalom. Any brothers and sisters got any